Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. The transfer window has officially opened today, and that is a massive. That is massive for me because we've been waiting for that, and we're gonna be discussing lots of Arsenal stories. Obviously, like you've seen on the thumbnail, Arsenal club this summer, and then we'll also talk through some of the big updates a second, to put a like on the video, and that massively means a lot. So the transfer window is officially open today, and as Arsenal fans, as an Arsenal content creator, I've received a couple of questions. Cossy, why aren't we signing in anyone? Cossy, why is Arsenal so slow in the window? Cossy, who are we bringing in? Cossy, who's coming in? And all that. And then I did a video of the old done deals and confirmed transfers that we hope Arsenal will do, will be able to see the content. But I think this is the point when Arsenal now know our transfer business. This is the most decisive point in the transfer window. The window has officially opened. That means everyone can start signing in players and everyone can start doing their business officially. We are looking at Darwin Núñez to Liverpool. That is very, very close. You're looking at Erling Haaland to City. That is a done deal. My thoughts around this window are very, very clear. And everyone that has seen me, everyone that has been following this podcast knows what I think about the window. It should be upgrading in terms of quality. It should be about Arsenal upgrading their quality this window. For me, there is nothing more. There is nothing more that matters than Arsenal. Network is not good. Sorry for that. Sorry for that. Try to make that better. I hope I can make that better. Okay. So look, lads, like I was saying, for me there is nothing better, there is nothing bigger this window, or more important for us than this window than upgrading the squad. We look at squad depth, we look at a couple of other things, but the first thing is upgrading this squad. This is a very, very young squad, first and foremost. It's been an average of 23.4 years, 23.7 years, youngest in the Premier League. And everyone has been feeling that kind of sympathy towards us. Arsenal is a very, very young squad. They have a very young squad. They are very young players, and they should be able to see themselves see themselves through next season, after the summer. So the summer has arrived. I don't think we're going to get the sympathy vote yet again. These are young players, yes, but we have we have a period of 3 to 4 months to correct that. Yes, we have very young players, but can we back them with quality? Can we back them with maturity? Can we back them with experience? And that is what Mikel said in one of the press conferences when he was asked about what Arsenal want to do. Said this summer we want to bring in maturity, quality, and also we add to the number of players we have, so that you have as many players as you can, at least 2 players per position. So every player that comes in, every player that Arsenal is looking at this summer, that should be the goal. If they do not tick the boxes, maturity, quality, I do not think we should be going for them. And I'm gonna say, I'm going to confess that I'm quite happy with what we've done in terms of setting our priorities. Players like Yuri Tillemans, 25 years of age, yeah, you can see he's very, very mature and he's played in the Premier League. He's got the pedigree, and to be honest, he's a quality player. Gabriel Jesus played in the Premier League as well. Played a couple of seasons for Manchester City under Pep Guardiola. Worked with Mikel at Manchester City. There is something that he brings into the side: quality and maturity. So officially, the window has opened today, and right from now, we have the right to start asking for signings because the window has opened. Edu should be working on signings, starting from now. But talking about signings and the window opening, Arsenal today have signed and sealed the transfer of Marquinhos. That has been confirmed. I've done a video about that. We've signed and sealed that deal according to Fabrizio Romano. We are waiting for the visa. For the visa, we're working on the visa actually of Marquinhos because he's coming in from South America. Visas for those players take some time. But as soon as his visa comes in, as soon as his working visa and his visa and working permit are actually done, then Arsenal will announce him as their first signing. I think Marquinhos comes in as our first signing before Matt Turner. Matt Turner would have been the easier deal because he's coming in from the USA, but he's expected to travel, do his medicals by the 20th of this month. So by that time, we expect to affect our squad and whatnot. But at least it's a beginning point. It's a beginning point. 19 years of age, winger. Goal.com have written around him and said, he could be the next Gabriel Martinelli. So we will wait and see if Arsenal are going to loan him, if he's going to be playing with the under 23s, or he's going to come straight into the first team squad. We're looking for around 25 players in to form our full squad, given the fact that now we're going to have um, um, 5 substitutions. So the likes of Marquinhos, they might come around, they might start impacting Arsenal's seasons as soon as possible. Now, the other story that I would love to discuss today is Raphinha. Very, very, very talented, isn't he? Very, very talented. Goal.com and Charles Watts have also added their voice to a couple of other credible sources and journalists in reporting that Raphinha is on the transfer radar of Arsenal. At the moment, there are no official talks. There is no official contact from Arsenal for Raphinha, but it is believed that Arsenal hold him very, very closely on the list. The belief is that Nicola Pepe will leave Arsenal this summer, and that deal directly depends on what's going to happen with Nicola Pepe. If Pepe leaves Arsenal, if he moves on, then Arsenal will launch a bid for Raphinha, and they will try to sign him. That is according to Goal.com and Charles Watts. But there is also another difficult hurdle in the deal. Leeds United are asking for around 47 million pounds, which is 55 million euros, but they are saying that money has to be paid upfront. They're not accepting any installments. That money should be paid upfront. They will not take any installments. They will not listen to any in any since that time, they've been talking to to Leeds United. They've been in discussions of the price and the pay, but Leeds have adamantly refused to reduce the price. They've said it should be 55 million, and if any club is interested in taking the player away, then they should be getting this money in a lump sum. It should be upfront. I don't think Barca in that position to give them 47, 45 million euros upfront. I don't think Barca are in that financial position. They're asking for 100 million in Frankie De Jong, but even if they do, if they lose Frankie De Jong, their chances are high that they will go for Bernardo Silva. So if they lose Frankie, go for Bernardo and sign Robert Lewandowski. I don't see how they afford another 45 million for Raphinha, and that's where Arsenal comes in. Arsenal have the money. I think we can pay 43, 44 million for Raphinha if Leeds can, just enter into negotiations, and Arsenal can pay it up front. We've done a couple of deals where money has been paid up front, like in the Ben White deal, where cash has been paid up front. So Arsenal can pay the money, but that deal depends on Nicola Pepe. If you ask me whether Arsenal should get Raphinha and replace him with Nicola Pepe, whether Raphinha should replace Nicola Pepe at Arsenal, for me that is a no-brainer. That is a no-brainer. However much I think about it, however easy or hard I think about it, that is a no-brainer. Despite the fact that Pepe came in at 72 million, I don't think we are even going to get 40 million out of this sale. If any club is going to come in and pay any huge amounts for Nicola Pepe, it's going to be 35 million. It's going to be 32 million for Pepe. That is if we are lucky, that any club comes in for him. And to be honest, if Pepe goes out of the door and Raphinha comes in, that is a lot of quality you've exchanged for. That is a lot of quality. Don't get me wrong. I think Pepe is a quality player. First and foremost, the price tag if you view him in the lens of a 72 million price tag player, he doesn't fit there. He really doesn't fit there, and that can only be explained by the fact that he has absolutely struggled for game time while competing for Bukayo Saka. If Raphinha comes in, I don't think he struggles to find game time against Saka. I think he can beat Saka to that position. Look, Saka is brilliant. He's been Arsenal's Player of the Year for 2 consecutive seasons. The first player to do it after, since actually Thierry Daniel Henry. But the quality that Raphinha would bring to this Arsenal side, for me, eventually he would overthrow Saka in that position. And even if he doesn't overthrow him, you have the Europa League, you have the FA Cup, you have other cup competitions where Arsenal could use quality. But one thing I love about Raphinha, and I know many Arsenal fans would agree with me here, is he's got that extra quality to unlock a decent defense, something that at the moment Saka does not have. Look, if it's an open game, end-to-end game, and we are playing a usual game, Saka is absolutely very, very good. But when it comes to getting those crucial goals, getting those crucial assists, unlocking defenses that are quite solid, are quite difficult, I think Raphinha, that is where Raphinha would come in. He's done it for Leeds this season. He's been absolutely phenomenal for them. And I don't think they expect him to stay. But the price tag they put around him, for me, it's just reasonable. It's just reasonable. Your Player of the Year is going to leave. You want to get as much money as possible. If they had gotten relegated, probably the fee would have been a little bit less than that. But the fact that he's stayed at the club and they stayed up, it's going to be a hell lot of money. It's one of the deals where I look at and I'm like, could he be that? Could it be like the Jack Grealish situation, the likes of Emi Buendia, such a situation where Leeds stay up, or Leeds stay up, and then next season they sell him for 100 million if they manage to stay up in the division, or if they go down, right? If they go down and come back again, then they can sell him at a reasonably, at a reasonably cheaper fee. I won't be surprised if the player stays at Leeds. I won't be very surprised. Bayern have been reported to want him. Liverpool have been reported to want him, but Liverpool are known for making one huge signing per summer. Now that looks to be Darwin Núñez. I don't see them go for Raphinha. So in the end, I'm going to say Raphinha coming into Arsenal, it's a deal I would love. It's a massive, massive deal. But we will have to wait and see what's going to happen. We will have to wait and see what's going to come out of that. That's a deal I would love to see. It's a deal I would really love to see. Pepe out, Raphinha in. I'm all in. I'm absolutely all in. Right? Kind of forward we want, kind of forward that as Mikel Arteta would work with, provides that backup for Saka. Because again, with Bukayo Saka, he's overplaying minutes. He's playing a lot of minutes. Don't get me wrong. If he wants to become a quality player, if he wants to become a top star, like the English media would love him to become, then he's got to play those minutes, right? But I mean, you need him to rest. And if he's going to rest, then you need to have quality cover for him. So Raphinha, for me, that is where he comes in. Now, news on Gnabry today comes in from The Athletic, and they've been very clear while reporting this. They've said Gnabry to us, it would be over the top. So the point here, lads, is Raphinha, Serge Gnabry would cost Arsenal 20 million euros per year. That is according to The Athletic. So he would cost us 20 million euros per year. And if he's going to sign a 100 million, a 5-year contract, then Arsenal would end up giving him or spending 100 million euros on that deal. Now, Arsenal are not prepared to do that. So I think it might be a smart move for Arsenal, because first and foremost, if we're going to bring in Serge Gnabry, then we have to move on Nicola Pepe. But then you have Raphinha, who is available at probably not a cheaper price, because Serge Gnabry would be going for around 35 million euros because his contract is running down, and Raphinha is going for 55 million euros. But the difference is that in the long run, Arsenal would spend less money on Raphinha, and they would spend more money on Serge Gnabry. Arsenal do not want to spend 100 million euros across 5 years on Raphinha. So it looks like the deal is not on at the moment. That deal is not on. Arsenal have explored the options of other players playing in the similar position. They've looked at Raphinha, like I've reported. They've looked at Marcus Rashford, like we're going to speak about him. They've looked at Richarlison, and they've also looked at Cody Gakpo. So, I mean, that shows you that the fact that they are looking at other options shows you that they want two forwards. That is confirmed, but they're not looking at two forwards who are going to cost them astronomically. They're looking at two forwards that can at least cost them, a fee or fees that can help them balance the books. Because if they're looking at Gabriel Jesus, 43 million. If you bring in Gabriel Jesus for 43 million, you could spend another 43 million pounds on Raphinha. You could spend another 40 million on Cody Gakpo, and you can also spend another 40 million on Richarlison. So Arsenal do not want to spend 100 million on one player. actually they want to, 100 million is money Arsenal are budgeting for all forwards on the forward line. So you're looking at Edin Ketia, who's going to be earning 100k. You're looking at Gabriel Jesus, who's going to be earning close to 200,000 per week. And then I think Arsenal are not comfortable with giving Serge Gnabry, adding another striker, another forward, who will be earning 200,000 per week. So the feeling is that they would rather get a player like Raphinha. He's not going to ask for 200,000 per week. He's probably going to ask for around 75,000 per week, or at least 100,000 per week. Edin Ketia on 100,000 per week, and then Gabriel Jesus would be the marquee signing of the summer for around 200,000 per week. My thoughts on this are: if Arsenal do not want Serge Gnabry, it is fine. If it doesn't fit into our budget, it is absolutely fine. But can we get someone who gives you that quality? It is not conclusive. It is not absolutely conclusive that if Arsenal do not get Serge Gnabry, then there is no one in the world that we can get. No, because for me, what I'm looking with Serge Gnabry, 26 years of age, he's played at a top club like Bayern. He's been playing at a top level as well. If you put all that into consideration, then you understand what Serge Gnabry brings to the table. But if Arsenal feel he's not into their budget, that is absolutely fine. You cannot force a club to spend beyond their budget. So can we find someone with similar qualities? Can we bring in someone that has the same that has the same quality and can give us the same output? There are very, very many on the market. Anthony at Ajax is available. Cody Gakpo PSV is available. Moussa Diaby Bayer Leverkusen is available. There are very many players that can give you what Serge Gnabry gives you. The experience probably not very many, but the quality and the goals, I think you can find it elsewhere. So the Athletic are saying Arsenal have not even discussed Serge Gnabry as an active target because of the financial repercussions that deal would have. I mean, let me know if you feel Arsenal are just being stingy with their money, or it is smart business. I mean, just let me know around there. But talking about an added forward, a player that would come alongside Gabriel Jesus. Three names have been discussed today. We've talked about Raphinha. The other one is Richarlison. Now, reports are claiming that Edu wants to use his Brazilian connections to bring Richarlison at Arsenal Football Club. Something that I don't feel is bad. Although we might have very many Brazilians in the side: Marquinhos, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, Richarlison. We would have so many Gabriel Magalhães. We'd have so many Brazilians. And if Arthur signed, we would also have Arthur as well. But I don't have a problem with Brazilians as long as they can bring the quality that we want. But so with Richarlison, it's all about Arsenal making their interest as concrete and firm as possible. At the moment, you do not have a bid. You have nothing that can confirm interest in Richarlison. But again, for me, he would be another great addition. Many people feel they do not love him. And not, if you have to be realistic, he's one of those forwards in the Premier League. If you give him the time and you give him a quality side, he can average 15 goals in a campaign. I don't know if I'm wrong, but that is the feeling I have around him. He can average at least 15 goals per campaign. Number two, he's very, very flexible. You can use him across that forward line. And in cases where Arsenal want to play a 4-3-3, Richarlison can play on any can play on any line and on any positions. In that 4-3-3, and also if you play a 4-2-3-1, you can use him as a left winger, as a right winger. I don't know why people do not love him, and I do not know why many people don't rate Richarlison. He's being discussed as one of the forwards that Arsenal would love to bring in. So it then looks like Richarlison, Raphinha, Cody Gakpo, Arsenal looking at that winger that would come in, provide some kind of competition to Gabriel Martinelli, or even take up the left wing, and then make Gabriel Martinelli as a backup. And then you would have Gabriel Jesus down through the middle. Rashford has also been discussed today in a couple of transfer stories that have been transpiring around the club. But with Rashford, I've seen. I don't know. I do not know the true. I do not know the true basis of the Rashford rumors. He's been linked with He's been linked with Spurs. He has been linked um with Arsenal as well, and I think with Real Madrid and PSG. But with Marcus Rashford, this is what I'm going to say. He's most likely to stay at Manchester United. Whether Eric Ten Hag is going to give him the trust, whether Eric Ten Hag can trust him and play him on a more regular basis, that is up to him. But I think he needs to stay at Manchester United, and he will start Manchester United and fight for his position. I don't see how Arsenal. I don't see how Arsenal side Marcus Rashford. Yes, we are looking for that kind of winger. We are looking for that kind of forward, has a lot of speed, and not that complete. I love him. I don't think he's going to become Kylian Mbappe like many English fans have told us. And one season does not really tell us all about Marcus Rashford. So last season, yes, he didn't have a good one. It shouldn't be Marcus Rashford is the worst player in the world because he had one bad season. We should also my internet is acting a little bit weird, but I think we will move with that.